guys, and welcome to another Mad Chili video. Today it is time for episode number 3 of the Balkan bush trip. Today we are departing from Zadar, where we left out leg 2. Leg 2 is kind of almost boring. We literally just followed a very basic motorway the entire way. Today we're going to be flying down to a place called Castella. So that should be pretty good. Apparently, also I've just noticed the Cessna 172 Skyhawk has a cruising speed of 124 knots now. I've been pretty much maxing this thing out, and I've never really got anything higher than 110 knots, so I'm not totally sure if that's true. Who knows? But anyway, we'll go ahead and click continue. Flying on my joystick as always. I hope you guys are really enjoying this bush trip content. I'm actually really enjoying it. It's probably my favourite part of this new flight sim. Just this lovely VFR flying that you're able to do. I love making content on it. I've just been making so much YouTube content today. It's nuts. So I'm honestly just this week. I'm so lucky. Just been so lucky with the games that have been out. So mad, so mad, but I'm very happy about it. Just gonna let this load up. Oh wow, the Cessna 172 is the most produced airplane in the world. I love all those facts. And the facts always relate to the aircraft you're flying as well. So if you're flying the A320neo, it gives you a fact about the A320neo. I really like that. It's like, you know, it's not just the same old facts. You know, it depends on what you're doing, what activity you're doing and everything. It's really cool. And as I also discovered that having the VFR map turned off does improve FPS. However, sadly I won't be able to leave... Oh, never mind, I was able to untick the VFR map. So that's going to improve my FPS today. However, I may need the VFR map, who knows. Anyway, let's have a look about what we're doing. So... Okay, look, I was thinking then, a minute, we followed this road the entire time. So this is another 27-minute flight. It's about 2 miles shorter than leg number 2, so same sort of length, really. And yeah, we're looking pretty good. Just check my yoke is working. Great. Okay, anyway, let's have a little look. Yeah, my joystick is all working. Have a look at where we're going. It probably won't be on this map, will it? Nope. Too far away, so just going to go back into about 10 nautical mile range. You can see here we are. So we want to depart heading southeast. Okay, there'll be a little left turn, and quickly you'll notice a road running in the same direction. Follow it, and eventually you will pass over a highway interchange, reuniting with the A1 motorway near the town of Benkovac. So what we want to do now is follow the A1 motorway again, and after that continue southeast along the road. After a while, watch for the waters of the Gaducha River. I think that's meant to say slicing under the road and running southeast towards a lake in the distance. I'm not trying to pronounce that. At the banks of that, make your way down its western shoreline over the village of Razlina. Okay, right. Initial power. Parking brake off. Full power. Believe our flaps are off, so that's alright. And off we depart. And I am getting... Oh dear, yep. Oh dear, right, quick, use the keyboard as the rudder. I always do this. The rudder just doesn't work that well on this joystick because of what button I've got it maps to. Right, there we go, but luckily there is a keyboard alternative. Right, there we go, up we go. In yeah. And we want to turn southeast, so I'm going to make a left turn. I'm going to continue to point the plane up, trim it up a little bit, and we'll continue to head southeast like this. And basically we want to follow this course until we end up with a road at the end of it. Right, let's try and trim the aircraft now so it's climbing. Still haven't quite got there. There we go. This thing should now be trimmed so that it can climb. And there we go. Up we go. A very nice 900 feet per minute. I'm happy with that. Anyway, let's have a little look outside. So apparently we should see a road. There's the road in question, I think. Basically, we just want to basically follow this course until we end up at the A1 motorway. So that should be nice. And then after that, continue southeast along the road. So that should be absolutely fine. So have a look outside now. Look at that. Also, we're not gonna. I wish that tip would go away. I'm not interested. Not interested. But yeah, I'm getting much better FPS now. I've turned off the VFR map. It's mad that that improves FPS. Absolutely insane. I'll just check. Do I need to, throughout this journey, do I need to climb at any point? Because if I do, I'll go a bit higher. Nope, doesn't look like I do. And it's actually, we're flying to Split. Interesting. Alright, let's just pitch the plane down slightly then, because I don't think we're going to be needing a lot of altitude today, by the looks of it. Just the regular sort of maybe 2,000 feet or something. And power back just a slight bit, about 95%. It's pretty much ideal. There we go, 95%. So just a little bit back, but nothing massive. And now I'll start to pitch the plane down a bit more as we're reaching 2,000 feet. And then sooner or later we should, there's the road we're meant to be following, somewhere along here. We should then meet up with our, I don't know, I don't actually really see the road we are meant to be following. I mean, I don't think it really matters as long as we end up back at the motorway in question, which should be alright. I need to trim it a bit more down, I think. So trying to get the hang of the whole trim thing. But yeah, I don't really see the road we're meant to be following. I think we are just meant to really just join ourselves back up with this motorway. So we'll trim it down just a little bit, and that looks pretty good. Looks like the plane knows what it's doing now. Starting to level off. We managed to get it trimmed pretty much perfectly last time. So it'd be nice if I could do that again. Just trim it a little bit more down. Allow us just to properly cruise. And yeah, there's the motorway, look, in question. We should, I don't really know what road we're meant to be following, honestly, but I said as long as we join back up with the runway, not the runway, the motorway, it doesn't really matter where. So that's what I've learnt with this visual flying. You haven't got to stick exactly to it, but just if it gives you, you should stick more to what the very top line says. That's the point of interest name. That's where we want to go. We want to go to the highway interchange, and since we can see the motorway, that's the thing. With the motorway, it's quite easy to follow because we have it on our little GPS. And obviously, we did spend all of yesterday's, not yesterday, all of the last video, just literally following it anyway. So I sort of know roughly where it is from last time. It's kind of quite a nice thing about doing these tours. You do sort of, because we're flying out of the same airport we just flew into, it's kind of like, you know, we know what we're doing a bit more. Also, despite the fact I'm constantly trimming down, we're still climbing a bit more than I'd want to. I don't know why, it's always like this with the trim. It's like, no matter how much I trim down, it seems to just want to point up, and then as soon as it seems okay, it'll then start pointing downwards all of a sudden, randomly, at one point, but never mind. We should be all fine. So yeah, we should see a highway interchange, and that's what we're aiming for. I think that may be it there. I haven't really seen any roads, to be honest. I think it may be that interchange there, possibly. Although I'm not saying that. I think, you know, we're still 3.5 miles away, actually. So I think it might be somewhere around here. I don't know. That might be it. I don't know. So it is still 3.5 miles away, so it's not totally accurate. But after this, we want to continue southeast along the road. After a while, watch for the waters of the Gaducha River, and you can see that's 16 miles we're going to be following this road for. So we're looking on our GPS for a river. I think I can see a little bit of water there, because obviously I do normally jump ahead on these challenges and just think that any bit of water is that river, and it normally isn't, and I normally make a mistake. That's kind of where I found the mistakes seem to come from. So we should be alright. So you can see there's the road, look. So we've now met up with the road. So what we want to do from here is basically just follow the road all the way down until we see a river. So towards a lake in the distance. So at the banks of this, make your way down to its western shoreline over the village of Razlina. You'll soon find the inlet for another river. I can't pronounce that. Running southwest. Follow it a short distance to a marina at the historic city of Sabenik, the oldest native Croatian town on the shores of the sea. Okay, so that's what we're doing right now. Obviously, for now, I'm just going to focus on, you know, the task at hand, which is following this particular highway once again for the next 16 miles. Honestly, it's like all we're doing now, isn't it, in this series? I had it trimmed perfectly, then I pressed the wrong trim button. Perfect. Oh dear. Anyway, we should all be good. I'm just we'll just make sure we do follow this road. So yeah, we want to basically follow it until we see the river, and I think we follow the river southwest towards a lake. That's the next point of interest. And at the banks of that, make your way down its western shoreline. Trim the plane a little bit more. And yeah, we're basically steady at about 3,000 feet now, so pretty good. Pretty nice and steady, really. Looks quite nice outside. I can say that for once. I'm getting much better FPS as well. I was getting 40 before, I'm now getting 47. It's absolutely mad how just turning off that VFR map makes a massive difference. That's going to need fixing, definitely. Also, why is our plane pulling to the right? That should not be happening. Shouldn't be pulling to the left. But I don't think there's any wind, is there? No, we've got a 7-knot headwind by the looks of it. In terms of time of day, it's 5:10, look. So we always seem to spawn in at 5 AM, no matter where we're going. That's kind of weird. It'd be nice if it would fall on from each other, wouldn't it? Whatever, I guess. But yeah, for now I just want to follow this road. I think that may be our lake over there. The Proklanchko Jezero. Again, just don't... It's like when I do those Hawaiian VFR tours, me trying to pronounce half of these names, it's not going to work. So, be prepared for that, basically. But I can see the river on our little GPS. We're basically going to follow that river southwest then, until we reach the banks of it. We'll make our way down the western shoreline, and then we'll find an inlet for another river running southwest. Follow it a short distance to a marina. Okay. So yeah, this is where it gets a bit more difficult again. After we pass, you know, after we finish following this road, it is where it gets difficult again, where we have to bother actually following something that isn't just a nice simple road on our map. Because unfortunately, not everything is on our map. Remember, although this only being a 55-minute, 55-mile flight, we are following the majority of it along. At least the start of it along this road and everything, so it makes our life a little bit easier. I'm actually climbing it slightly now, so I'm just going to trim it again. This trim is so random. But we're roughly at 3,300 feet and we're looking pretty good, so I'll just stay like that. Yeah, apparently our cruising speed is meant to be like 124 knots. I don't get that. I don't think it is. I mean, right now we're at 109 knots and we're at 95% throttle, you know? I mean, our true airspeed is 115 knots because of the wind. But yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But yeah, we're all good. We can take a little look outside, actually. See, there's this road we're meant to be following. Sooner or later, though, I think we will come across. You can see there, look, that is the river. We basically want to follow that river down into this, and then we want to go onto the western shoreline. I'm not totally sure which side the west one is, so I guess we'll find that out once we get closer. Probably. So no, we actually are, you know, gaining a little bit of speed there. Well, I think it's dropping back. I think we were just briefly descending there, and now we're climbing. For some reason, this is what I mean, right? I haven't actually changed the trim, so how do we go from descending to climbing all of a sudden? Just like that. Like, I didn't change the throttle, I didn't change anything. So really, we should have stayed put. But whatever. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. You can see we're just following this road along right now, and you can see there's the river in question. We want to follow that river, and then go on to the western side of that particular lake. I believe it's a lake, yeah. And then after that, make our way down its western shoreline over the village of Razlina. And we'll soon find an inlet for another river running southwest, follow it a short distance to a marina. And after that, we want to head southeast, following the heading towards the Adriatic Sea and a bay. So that's what we're going to be doing after that. And after that, a road runs straight from the bay, heading east past the tourist village, follow it through the valley and towards the hills. On the northern hill bank, you should soon see the small village. So it is getting a bit more difficult now. It's like the first leg again, where it's not just simple stuff to follow that's going to be on our GPS. It'll probably be slightly more hard to find stuff, quite possibly. But you can see there's the point where the river crosses the road, so we're going to go ahead and follow that now. We're not quite there yet. I'm not sure whether... I think we do turn here, looking at the point of interest. I think it is here that we turn round. And we start to follow the river, look. So this is where the river is now, so we start to follow this river, basically. And then after that, after we come to the end of the river, we're going to follow slightly to the left of the river. We want to be on the western part of the river. Yeah, that's slightly southwest, that is, and I think it might be in the next river, you know. Because obviously this river seems to pass this point, well, actually no, I know what it is. I think we need to follow there, look, and there's our second river in question, that river there, look. So we're probably going to make our way along this bit here. You can see where I'm pointing with the mouse. Anyway, yeah, this thing, trim is a bit weird. Also, I accidentally knocked the throttle then, just make sure it is still on 95. I knocked it up and then tried to put it back down. It's very hard to get the same throttle level because of how small the throttle axis is. So 1% is quite difficult. Oh, there we go, 95%. Don't know why I'm trying so hard to get that. Anyway, right, oh, yeah, I think we need to stay to this side of the river at the moment, which is where the point of interest is. We basically need to stay by there until... And then we want to basically go to the western part of this river, so that is to the right. That's the western part. So basically, yeah, as soon as we trigger this little point of interest here, it's literally... in fact, yeah, so literally, as soon as we're over this river, we want to basically turn right, not this river, this lake. We want to turn right ever so slightly and follow its shore along. And that will basically... So we can get rid of this one now, we can get rid of point of interest 2. Next one's number 3. So we want to basically head down here, and after a very short distance, so we'll soon find... We're 0.4 miles, there you go, so it's triggered the next point of interest now, which is this next river, basically. We're looking for that. So, and we can see already the river is clearly there, and we basically follow it for a short distance, and I think this is the marina in question. It runs southwest, apparently. So that's this river, but I think don't know, it looks like there's a marina very close by. Or maybe it means like follow the river. So run it southwest, follow it to a short distance. So I think, yeah, we need to face... Well, this is not really south. That's the thing. I mean, like, how do I actually know whether I turn left or right at this river? I'm guessing it's straight on, yeah? I think we followed like that. And then that's where we're heading. That's the marina. Or maybe that's the marina. I don't know. I'm lucky I've got a GPS on this trip, honestly. I don't know whether the other planes that are used for this have GPSs, but it makes quite a big difference, honestly. Definitely does make a big difference. But there we go. We're just cruising along now. Looks very nice outside. I mean, this is on medium, remember, you know? It's pretty crazy. So we want to basically follow this river along. I think this is the river in question. I think that's the marina in question. And after that, we want to head southeast, which is what we're currently doing, towards the Adriatic Sea and a bay. So that's what we want to do. We'll basically head on this present heading. And this is the Croatian town that it's talking about. Šibenik. That's the that is point of interest number 3. So after that, we just head southeast, following the heading towards the Adriatic Sea and a bay. I think that's the bay in question. After that, a road runs from the bay, and I don't believe it's a motorway, so we won't be able to just follow that, unfortunately. On the GPS, we will have to have a little look, because I do always struggle in finding those smaller roads, because the problem is there's so many of them, and they're not marked on the map. So that's kind of the worst part. But yeah. Yeah, so far, it's going alright, this bush trip. I'm loving this plane, I've got to say, it's very good fun. But you can see here, look, just 2.5 miles to this town now. That's our next point of interest, but here, that's the marina in question. So we want to basically head southeast over to this bay, and then from there, we should see some kind of... road. And then we need to follow that east, past the tourist village of Grabastica. Follow it through the valley and towards the hills. On the northern hill bank, you should soon see the small village of Blizna Gornja, surrounded by trees. So that's basically what we've got to do here. So for now, look, there is the town. Look, we're just going to turn slightly left so we're over the town directly. We should now be over, we should now be over the town, so we're going to make a left turn now, head southeast, and then we should look for a road heading east, by the looks of it. Is that what it says? So we'll get rid of point of interest 3, point of interest 4 is what we're interested in now. So we're going to turn left now. Apparently a course of, actually yeah, so this is the bay in question. So we're going to head over, just straight over here. I think that's the bay, although that may be the bay as well, in there. I don't totally know. So we're looking for a bay near the famous Bedem Grabastica, site of the War of Ostrika. So we're looking for something like that, I guess. Although we're looking pretty good at the moment. Just need to trim the aircraft a bit more. Trimming this thing's not easy. That's for certain. So you can see there is the everything. We're just heading on this present course. We're going to take a slight left turn so we're a bit more over the bay. I think this whole thing's really a bay, isn't it? So we can just follow this whole thing. So yeah, we're looking for a road. I don't actually see a road anywhere. This is the town it's talking about. So the bay is our next point of interest, but I don't see a road, that's the thing. I mean, as I said, luckily we have this GPS, and if I didn't have a GPS, I am allowed to use the VFR map. The only thing I'm not allowed to do is use the back on track feature, because what that will do, it'll basically tell me where to go to get back on track, and it does affect my score. It will basically mean that I don't get an achievement for doing this bush trip, which obviously I want. And I want the Steam achievement for doing it, don't I? So we're not going to be cheating. And to be fair, so far, despite the first leg being a little bit confusing, we've still ended up being pretty good at it. Obviously there were a few little confusions here and there, but overall, yeah, we've done pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how I've done so far. Anyway, it's only leg 3. There's 16 of them. I believe this is the road in question. It is heading through some hills, so it kind of adds up. So we'll get rid of point of interest 4 now. Number 5. A road runs straight from the bay, heading east past the tourist village of Gramastica. I believe that may be the tourist village. We want to follow it through the valley and towards hills. On the northern hill bank, you should soon see the small village of Bliznagornia. From the tree-lined Bliznagornia, look for a road running southeast parallel with the hillside. This road will reach a junction point and hand you off to another state road, D58 running south. So it's going to be quite difficult, this next bit. This is where we have to look for smaller roads that aren't on our GPS, which is always the tricky part. So I believe the road in question is that road. Maybe none of these roads look particularly big. I think it might be that one. However, that one heads the wrong way. That one. So I think, looking at our GPS, I think it's that one. Or the thing is, none of them look particularly big. All these roads look very small. I think it's that one there. I mean, whatever it is, it leads through the trees, so we should be alright. So we want to head east, which we are currently doing, through a tourist village. I think the tourist village is down there, just underneath us. We basically want to follow it through a valley. This is the valley we're in right now, so we just want to basically just cruise along this valley for now. And we should see a small village of Bliznagornia surrounded by trees. So we're looking for plenty of trees. There's a lot of trees over there, so maybe it'll be somewhere over there? Who knows? We are climbing slightly as well. We were at 3,300 feet, we're now at 3,500 feet, so I've got to be careful of that. Although, again, I haven't really changed anything to do with the throttle, so there's no reason why the trim should have changed. However, that just magically happens in this sim. I don't know whether it's my fault or whether it's something else, but it happens, that's for certain. Anyway, we're now on course with this road down here. I think it's one of these roads, but that's the problem with when it just tells you to follow a road. Like, they're not on the GPS, and there's so many of them. Like, what road do you mean? There's so many roads. And it could literally be any of them. I said, I'm really lucky we've got a GPS. Really, really lucky. If I didn't have a GPS, it'd be very difficult, I think, to do this. But you can see there is a bunch of trees. So we're looking for on the northern hill bank. So towards the north, where it banks, we should soon see the small village surrounded by trees. So there's probably a village in there somewhere. I can't see it at the moment, but that's our point of interest. Look for a road running southeast. Although saying that, we're currently facing southeast, so it's a bit confusing, that, isn't it? But we're looking for something down here. Look. I think we're following one of these roads. I think it's this road we're meant to be following. But I don't know, the thing is, they all just sort of, they do get very confusing, these roads. I think that's the town in question down there. I'm pretty sure that's the town anyway. I don't really see any other evidence of a town. I don't know, I think it should be, the town should be, hang on a minute, is that it? That's a town. That looks like a town. Let's do that, I think, and then that's the road in southeast, I think. Great. We have found it. So once we pass this, we're gonna look for a road heading southeast, parallel with the hillside. So I believe that's it there. That's our road in question, because it is heading southeast. Because southeast is ever so slightly more to the right of where we are right now. So that makes sense that it's that road. After following it for a short distance, this road will reach a junction point. So we're looking for a junction on that road that takes us onto another road. It's basically what we're looking at the moment. So you can see that, yeah, there is clearly the town of Bliznagornia. So that's perfect. So yeah, we just need to follow the road that leads out of there now, which is this road here. So we want to just follow that road across until it meets a junction with another road heading south. Okay. So we can get rid of point of interest 5 now. We've passed that one. And after that, we want to head southwest over the hills, past the patches of dense forest, and eventually you'll arrive at another runway where you can land. So this is, which is split. So that's great. Oh dear, I was pitching a little bit down on my joystick there, totally by accident. Didn't even realise I was doing it, but I was. Camera's way too sensitive. And now the trim is messed up again. Why does this thing make its mind up between pitching up and pitching down? I have not changed the trim. So you can see this is our... so the road's heading south, so that's to the right. We want to head. So we're looking for a road heading to the right. I think that might be the road there, look. That looks like an intersection. So, and it is a very short distance, so it kind of makes sense. Yep, I think that's our road there, maybe, although it's not totally clear, actually, is it? It could also be that road, could be that one, although I think south, yeah, south is to the right, so I think it's that road. Look, to the right, that one, maybe? Or maybe not, I don't know. It's not very clear, is it, to be honest? So we're looking for a road junction, so it probably isn't that one. Maybe that one, but that... Again, these roads are all very small. That looks like a pretty big road, but who knows? Apparently we're still 2.5 miles away from this point of interest, according to our little GPS. Oh, there you go. I think that might be the road there. That's heading south. That's perfect. This is what I mean. I always jump ahead of myself. That's why I'm glad I've got the GPS. Otherwise, I'd probably just take that one, and then it's too soon. Like I think that these places are way closer together than they actually are. Like, if you just look into the distance, you will always find it generally. It's just about being a bit patient, waiting for the game to load it in properly. Obviously, you need to be close before you can properly see it, so it's kind of part of it, really. So there's our road. Look, that is the D58. So after that, we want to head southwest over the hills. There's the hills. And we should see Split Airport shortly afterwards. Which is, of course, our endpoint. You can see there it is on our GPS, LDSP. Split Airport. So, there you go. There's our road. Just want to turn to the right now. Whoa, getting bumped around by a bit of turbulence here. Just want to briefly turn to the right. There's our road, look. So we want to head southwest now, apparently. Over the hills. That's a little bit... So once we're over the hills, we want to head that way. So there's our road, look. Southwest is actually starting to the right. So I don't know why it says our... Oh, that's why. Our next point of interest is actually the airport itself. So we're basically... Oh, there we go. I see an airport. That's not southwest. That's southeast, but okay. I guess, why not? Right, let's start pushing this plane down then, and throttling back, because, as I said, I see our airport in the distance. It's only 3.5 miles away, actually. So we're just going to basically descend and then turn left. And that'll put us on about a 3-mile final then. Go flaps full. Give it very little power. Just let us slow it up. Right. And turn left then, and we should be left on course with the airport. Pretty good. Just we are a little bit high, unfortunately, but never mind. It's no big deal. So we basically just want to push the plane down a little bit. We'll keep it up. There's the runway light, so we'll just push up a little bit more now, and that means we'll be good. There's the runway lights passing 2,000 feet. This thing goes so quiet once you turn off the propellers. Like, you just put them to pretty much idle thrust, and they are so quiet. Right, is it called a thrust propeller? I know it's with a jet engine. Is it with? No, I don't know. Because isn't thrust a jet engine thing? Right, we'll give it a bit more power. And we'll start to level off a little bit now, as we're only 2 miles out from the airport. We should be able to see it on our GPS sooner or later, the airport. Oh, bit of a freeze as it loads in. Something. Not exactly sure what it was loading in. Been a pretty beautiful flight this, actually, isn't it? And we've had lovely FPS thanks to having the VFR map turned off. So you can see there is the airport. It's going to idle power now. Let us drop out the sky gently towards... We are a little bit high, actually. And there's a little minimums thing going off. And we'll basically turn to the left and then just chill on the runway. I think we've got a little bit of a crosswind, actually. Can definitely feel something. But there we go. We're now good. We want to basically just push the plane back and aim for quite a gentle landing. Coming in a little bit steep, maybe. We'll go ahead and we can fix that now. There. And then we want to basically just let the plane gently fall out of the sky. Lovely landing. There we go. That's probably our best landing yet in this plane, actually. And there we go. Flight time was meant to be 26 minutes 44. Which might be the one time I've actually briefly stuck to the flight length. I don't know. And there we go. That is it. Excellent. That was really good fun. Right, we'll go ahead and click next then. Flight ended up being 30 minutes. It's always a little bit over. It's never anything different. But there we go. That was really good fun. I really enjoyed that. Do I have to say I am a massive fan of these little bush trip flights that I'm doing. But there we go. That is that then, guys. I hope everyone really enjoys these videos. I certainly enjoy recording them. Definitely. So there you go. That is episode number 3 completed. So that should be pretty good. And there you can see it took us 4 minutes longer than planned. They always so next episode number 4 is going to be a very short one, actually. It's I think it's the shortest flight on the 20.97 miles. So by far the shortest flight on the route. And we've got a few long ones, actually. Leg 14 in particular is quite long. That's going to be about an hour's flight. You can see there we go. Leg 4's next up. We'll be landing in a grass field by the looks of it. But yeah, that was really, really good fun. I hope you guys did really enjoy watching today. Be sure to join me for future bush trips and future videos on Microsoft Flight Simulator and Train Sim World 2. Until then, I will see you in the next one, and bye-bye!